Good morning, bon après-midi, guten tag, and namaskar. Today, we're going to look at success quotient, a paradigm shift which begins when we focus inwards and practice the art of inner engineering. We welcome you to delve deeper by understanding the theory of these derivations of IQ, EQ, SQ, AQ, and UQ that enable us to create an ecosystem of harmonious coexistence. IQ being intelligence quotient, EQ, emotional quotient, SQ is a social quotient, AQ is adversity quotient, and UQ being the universal quotient. With our distinguished speaker tonight, Dr. Srividhya Sukumar from UAE. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. And the platform of IIU is all yours.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Very happy to be here on this platform today, joining you all. And definitely, it's going to be a revelation session for both of us, as it's going to be a learning experience. When we talk about IIU, International Internship University, it's a leading global education institution focused on delivering practical skill-based learning through internships. IIU's mission is to bridge the gap between the traditional academic education and the real-world job market, providing students with hands-on experiences in their chosen fields of expertise. Through our advanced virtual platform, IIU connects with more than 1,000 voluntary educators, professors, leaders, and experts like us from across the globe. And IIU offers a wide range of courses designed to meet the demands of the modern careers, including cutting-edge programs in AI, robotics, blockchain, and more. IIU is registered in New South Wales, Australia, under the Trust Act in India, and holds international registration in the USA and Nepal. IIU is accredited by the World Education Organization, that is WEO, ISO certified and patented learning provider. Our education model aligns with international standards and is built on deep research and high quality content developed by the qualified experts from various countries. So we are so happy to be united here on this platform of IIU for this evening. Thank you so much. I'm Srividhya Sukumar, who is an educationist, governance advisor, quality assurance expert, and also a life coach. Relating it to the life coach sector, today my topic is success quotient. As ma'am was mentioning, a paradigm shift begins when we focus inward within ourselves and practice the art of inner engineering. Always we get influenced by the external factors like the plays or the music or the people whom we are associated with. Leaving all those aside, if we actually practice the art of inner engineering, we experienced a significant shift in our perspective, helping to deal with many titration and combination reactions to derive an exponential solution for life. By combining various reactions and finding an exponential solution for our life, we unlock ourselves, we discover ourselves, the key to fostering love, care, and empathy and congeniality. These values are further strengthened by the unwavering willpower, determination, and grit, and further strengthened by the ultimately leading to the attainment of the uncut truth, and thus transforming us into precious diamonds. As we continue to dwell deeper into this topic today, we are going to learn more about love, self-compassion, and we shed our impurities and replace them with the growing energies, real love and understanding, thus refining our souls. We welcome you today to dwell deeper by the understanding of the theory of these derivatives of IQ, that is intelligence quotient, EQ, that is emotional quotient, SQ, that is social quotient, AQ, that is adversity quotient, and UQ, that is universal quotient, which is a holistic thing which sums up to the success quotient that enables us to create an ecosystem of the harmonious coexistence. On that note, please allow me to share my screen as we go into this. Have a look at this video. One day, Professor asked the students to prepare for a surprise visit. He waited anxiously at the desk for the test to begin. Professor handed out the paper with a text facing down as usual. Once the standard fell out, he asked the students to turn the page and begin. There was no question, just a black dot in the text of the paper. I want you to Thank you. So, what do we really learn from this story? That's what is the further thing that I'm going to take you about. So, how does it relate to the today's topic? Is that we are going to see further. This black dot is an inspirational anecdote, signifies the importance of our focus. We have seen what happened in that. So it all relates to the psychological point of how we react to a particular situation. The teacher asked the students to prepare for a surprise test. They waited anxiously at the test for the test to begin. And the teacher handed out the question papers with the test facing down as usual. And she asked the students to turn a page and begin. To everyone's surprise, there were no questions, just a black dot in the middle of the page. Seeing an expression on everyone's face, the teacher told them, I want you to write about what you see there. And we have seen what the student wrote. Everyone wrote only about the black dot, leaving the white paper, the bigger paper that was available for them to look at. So this is where we are stuck with. We are stuck with and focused on only the problems that we face in life, but we don't appreciate the life and each moment of life as a blessing that offers us. So let's move from this point. Let's learn to reflect ourselves from this point and see how we can handle it. So all these are related to the psychological factor of a human being. Thinking psychology as a trunk of a tree, and each branch that sprouts from the trunk find its roots in the same principles of nature and culture. So we are all born and developed and groomed by our nature and our culture to react to a particular situation in a particular way. And we never think of any other option that we can look into. But each branch take its different path towards sunlight, that knowledge and awareness. So what we need to do is we need to evolve ourselves and take as each branch that takes a different path towards the sunlight. That so we need to grow. As we grow, we evolve and we learn new things. So our knowledge and awareness are the key thing that we need to learn from our nature and our culture. This two-way process, as from the roots to the different parts of the tree and from the tree to the roots back again, idealizes the human psychology and the holistic intelligence process. It's a two-way process as it is explained. So this art of inner engineering experiences embedded with the outside world reality radically stimulates the holistic intelligence that is needed for our holistic existence. So this process of success quotient depends on this holistic intelligence as viewed in many instances. The intelligence that learns, that accepts, learn to respect the whole of the reality, nature, and the culture. The transcendent intelligence that defines and shapes our nature according to the needs of the future, and the evolutionary impulse and the dynamics that brings the transcendental change as intelligence to transform and sustain. As we move further, this kind of psychology is the one that we are going to look into, comparing to the different instances. Now, how do we achieve this holistic intelligence, which it seems to be a little complicated? How do we really achieve this? The state of give and take. Very simple thing. What we give to the society, that really comes back to us. So this state of give and take as a customary constitute the rostrum of the coexistent that resonates and synergizes the process of well-being, the formula of the success quotient. What do I really mean is, if we want to other people to smile at us, you have a very broad smile. And the other person has no other go except to smile back. So as we give, we take. What we see, we perceive. What we perceive, we receive. We conceive. When we conceive that, we receive. When we receive that, we achieve that. So this is the process of success quotient that takes it forward. During this process of change and evolution, the development of the multinational, multidimensional calls it to the deepening of the four capacities of the success formula. That is, intellectuals with the practical and technical expertise and experience are aware of the pros and cons of the sciences involved and its impact before jeopardizing the present. So the emotional quotient, persons synchronize their legitimate prowess, that means skill, situationally and operationally to ensure the wellness around. Inspiring individuals, cohort enthusiasm and positivity into the reality to manage the risk. Experts and leaders empower, energize, and engage people to take the lead. However, the success of this compendious success quotient formula depends on the four implications as a holistic development in one, as its inertia in one capacity undermines the effectiveness of the remaining three. So how to nurture and guide the future generation, develop this success quotient with IQ, EQ, SQ, AQ that mature as a holistic development with a holistic intelligence. It's not that how smart you are, but how you are smarter than others. This is what is the whole thing. So as we have seen in the previous thing, it is defined in a pictorial form here. That is the human intelligences involve SQ, EQ, IQ, and PQ, that is intelligence quotient, emotional quotient, social quotient, and adversity quotient together forms the intellectual quotient, which helps people to learn from their mistakes, understand, interact, and be ready for the change. So how to achieve this intelligence quotient? What is this intelligence quotient? Intelligence quotient is the total score derived from the set of standardized tests or sub-tests designed to assign the human assess the human intelligence. For example, intelligence quotient tests might include the qualities of analytical skills, logical reasoning, ability to relate multiple things, ability to store and retrieve the information. So the five vital IQs are given in the pictorial form, which I'm going to give in a very pictorial, very easy way to understand. That is, it is reading comprehension. From that reading comprehension, what is the data that we perceive? That is the data interpretation. With the data that we have conceived within ourselves, what is the logical reasoning process that is going to follow through? When you understand how to express it, then comes the verbal ability to comprehend, to converse, to make people understand about your understanding, and the visual spatial reasoning, how to relate it to the present situation, how to move forward from the present situation to the further. That is the visual spatial thing which happens in the brain normally, with the classification, analysis, and the pattern detection. So with these areas and the skills that we develop, the intelligence quotient makes a person capitalize on the adaptability to the new and the changing environment, and the capacity for knowledge and the ability to acquire this capacity for a reason or abstract thought. So the ability to comprehend relationships and the ability to evaluate and judge, and the capacity to origin and the productive thought. Such a well-developed intelligence quotient will not be reactive but proactive to situations, with the ability to develop the measures and that would catalyze the knowledge and its application and have an overall development of cognitive, psychomotor, and affective domain. So with the whole thing, with the intelligence quotient, with the social skills, with the emotional quotient, the person gets liberated from socially restricted, emotionally restricted, intellectually restricted. Thus, they become the whole person to handle it. So when it comes to the emotional quotient, the intelligence to maintain the peace from inner engineering of self and the community living, and the right of respect to self and others, that will engrave a conducive and helpful environment built on the platform of respect, love, care, compassion, and empathy. So with these elements of emotional quotient, that is self-awareness, self-assessment, self-regulation, trustworthiness, adaptability, and self-motivation, one becomes emotionally aware of the self-confidence, self-control, conscientiousness, innovativeness, and self-evolution, and the self-driven. With the commitment and the initiative and optimism, empathy and service orientation, leveraging diversity and inclusiveness with the discrimination, with social skills, influence, communication, leadership, change management, conflict management, all constitute to the emotional quotient area of one person. So, how do we achieve this emotional quotient ability? Is to recognize and understand the emotions in ourselves and others, and it is the ability to use the awareness to manage one's own behavior and relationships. So the key competencies, as we have seen before, it is self-awareness, emotional awareness, self-assessment, self-confidence, self-regulation, self-control, trustworthiness, conscientiousness, adaptability, innovativeness, and self-motivation, self-evolution with the self-driven commitment, all together, put together as an initiative for optimism, empathy, service orientation, leverage diversity, and discrimination with the social skill, influence, and communication leadership, change management with the conflict management, all constitute the emotional quotient of a person. Such a well-balanced, emotionally poised person will be able to deliver the required thinking and analyzing from every single person's point of view, aspect, and welfare involved that is involved therein. So it is important to understand that this emotional quotient is not the opposite of the intelligence quotient, whereas it works as a complementary, and it is not a triumph of over the heart over head, but it is a unique intersection of the both. Both has to work together. So we become rationally that we are there. How to improve anybody's emotional quotient? It's very simple, getting well with others, with the interest of others. High emotional quotient individuals have the ability to become active listeners, truly curious about others. They are often as comfortable talking with strangers as they are as friends, and adapt at reading people through their body language, or to the eye contact, taking clues from the body language and the facial expressions, etc. Second is that self-awareness of the strength and weaknesses of the other person whom we are with. So, as Goldman explained, the star performers at work are successful because they know where they excel and as a result of having very strong self-confidence. At the same time, they aren't afraid of the negative evaluation since they are in the continuous process of self-improvement. Every single learning experience, life experience becomes the learning experience for them. They actually seek and ask for feedback with themselves regarding their blind spots and the weaknesses. So, third is that openness with integrity. The key words here are the trustworthiness and the conscientiousness. A person with a strong EQ in this area is highly ethical in business and relationships and takes responsibility for their own actions. Fourth is that self-awareness of others' feeling. Emotional, intelligent people have a self-control when it comes to their feelings, especially anger, frustration, hatred, etc. And they're able to overcome their emotions in a detached manner and pinpoint the reason why they are upset. That means they are very good in conversing and convincing people about their point of view without another person knowing it. So the present focus is that rather than whining or complaining about already what has happened, to overcome that, an individual with a strong EQ will be solution focused, looking for what they can do in a moment or the environment to looking for a problem solving method. Sixth is that they will be self-motivated, and the top performers in any work phase, as taking from the example from Goldman, demonstrated motivational competencies that will include a strong drive to achieve, a commitment to reaching the goals that will benefit the group or the organization, with the initiative and optimism which inspires the individuals to seize the opportunities as well as to take the setbacks and obstacles in their side. So a well-placed boundaries. This is the seventh point, which is a very key thing for all the emotionally equivalent, emotionally intelligent people. That is, individuals with high EQ are skilled at assessing what is realistic in terms of time and energy required for the task or a project. They are aware of the limits for what they say, how to say no. You may feel strong with the EQ competencies, but notice weaknesses when it comes to saying no. The good news is that your EQ will improve as you address your weaknesses and the Goldman says it starts when you are going to work on the low EQ habit. So this is how you can really control or you can master your emotional quotient. So moving ahead to the third topic, that is social quotient. What is social quotient? The intelligence to build a network of friends and cherished relationship that will nurture culture and citizenship to live in harmony with the nature. That is 5 ways to increase your social quotient. Make your effort to put yourself in other person's shoes. Read invisible interconnections in a social apparatus. Try to read minds and to have that intuition-based capacity. Learn to interpret people's non-verbal behavior. Keep a track of how you are feeling, also not compromising on your feelings, and approach interpersonal interactions with receptiveness. So, with all these things, social quotient is an ability of a person to tune into other people's emotion and read the subtle behavior clues to choose most effective response in a given situation. It is the ability to recognize others' emotions, to show empathy that enables one to have more positive relationship and minimize unproductive conflicts. In order to excel in various roles that we play, be it that of a very beloved spouse or a parent or a friend or a manager, a marketer, teacher, leader, etc. It is very important first to have an insight into how emotions work and a skill to observe someone's non-verbal behavior. It is someone's talent you are born with. That is, it is a skill that can be learned, practiced, and also mastered. So, demonstrate empathy in whatever that you're doing. This is the first key point. Be understanding without necessarily agreeing. Use your words and gestures to show that you care. Do offer advice, judge and tell them how you feel. and meet them where they are in connecting and communicating, meet them where they are, watch the nonverbal cues, prepare them for a negative information. Very importantly, even a phone response or a message response are the key things that will really make us understand of these situations. So social intelligence will be the future. The reason is simple. Every interpersonal interaction has an emotional subtext to it. And the most of the emotional undertone gets manifested less through words and more through the nonverbal behaviors like gestures, expressions, postures, vocal cues. For that matter, the way one has shaped one's personal environment. As charity begins at home, shaping one's social quotient is the key prior to administer any change in the society. So the change should begin within you, and you should be the change that you wish to see in the society. So I've got another video to show you. Let me try showing that how to respond to a particular situation. Story and potato, egg, and coffee bean demonstrate how one can become socially intelligent. As we have seen, exactly, the daughter complained that she was very sorrowful and she's tired of struggling and fighting in her life all the time. And it seems life is full of problems and as no problem is getting solved, and the problem follows another problem. So this is what is the thing. What you want to become, whether you want to become potato or eggs or coffee bean, is the thing. The potato, eggs, and coffee beans has faced the same difficulties of the boiling water. However, each one's reaction to the situation was different. The potato went in strong but came out weak and soft in boiling water. And the egg was weak with the thin outer shell protecting its inner part, but the liquid part until it was placed in the boiling water. Then the inner part of the egg also became hard. The ground coffee beans were unique. As they were exposed to boiling water, they changed the color and created something new. So this is how which we are supposed to be, that whatever situation that we are in, whatever experience that we're in, that experience should become a learning experience for us to evolve. We should be able to learn from that experience and we should be able to bring something new. So, with the moral of the story of potatoes, beans, and eggs, the coffee states that there are several things that can happen to us, that can happen around us, but what truly matters is that how we respond to the situation of something happening to us. And the story encourages us to fill our life with love, big dreams, inspiration, power, integrity, gratitude, etc. So that when we fall into the boiling adversities of life, you won't get too weak or too hard, but you become the magical one and spread the positive magic around us such that one problem gets solved and other problems follows through, but still you remain the same with your new. So this is how we should be able to handles the situation. When it comes to handling situation, adversity quotient comes in handy. The adversity quotient is the intelligence to move out of the comfort zone and embrace the challenges with the well embedded level headedness, which is coupled with the realm of treating the hardships that we are facing, or the disappointments, or the failures, or even the successes, everything on the same plane as learning experience of life, such that we learn and we move on. As we all know, even if it is success, success is always what is very short lived. The moment you are being celebrated, success ends there. But the failures are the one which are actually the learning experiences which really prepares us to evolve as something new. So this is what is the whole thing adversity quotient is all about. So the enduring for reaching the informal and the out of control situation, feeling, getting us liberated from the feeling of very limited to liberation is what is the whole science of AQ is all about. That is tool to ascend and new theories of effectiveness that we imbibe or we learn or we equip with the valid measure such that we will be able to achieve this AQ. So the adversity quotient is the composition with the habit or with resilience as the prime ability that helps to bounce back and find a silver lining with a hopeful future. So the first aspect of resilience is that when we look at gaining the positive yet accurate perspective, another trait of the people was high with AQ, with having high endurance, which will closely link to the perspective of an adversity's temporariness with the hope of this too shall pass. So that kind of patience, keeping us within our control, is the key thing that will help us to move forward. We all have come across such a kind of life. We all have come across such kind of situation. COVID has been a blessing which has started all these things for throughout the globe. So the experience has proved people with high IQ are the ones who can adapt to the drastic changes in any situation or in an organization, or the changes in the management and the sudden cost cutting measures, anything that are being assigned with even heavier workloads. It doesn't mean that they sacrifice the personal well-being for the sake of grit. They make sure to deliver the results first before negotiating terms or even later. So again, when it comes to the adversity quotient, please allow me to share one more video. It's a beautiful story of a deer, which is quite inspiring as such, you know. In our life too, there are moments of choice. Negative thoughts and positive. Some thoughts are so powerful that they overcome us and overwhelm us. Maybe we learn from that year. Priority of the year in that given moment was simply to give birth to the healthy form. The rest is not in our hands. We thought we did not respond with any action or reaction that is the focus that you have resulted in death or a disaster. Ask yourself always, where is your hope? Where is your faith and hope? In the middle of the storm, don't keep faith in the Creator. You always keep faith in our Creator and never get disappointed. You never remember that He neither assist you or He never gives you up. He will be always guiding you, supporting you, helping you, and protecting you. Be positive, be proactive, be pragmatic, and everything is possible in life. So coming back to our review of the pregnant deer, seeing the story. And what can the deer do? What will happen? What could have? In the remote forest, the pregnant deer is about to give birth to a baby. It finds a remote grass field near the river and slowly goes there, thinking that it would be safe. As she moves slowly, she got into labor pain. At the same moment, the dark clouds gathered around the area and the lightning started a forest fire. So turning left, she sees the hunter and who is aiming with an arrow at a distance. And as she tries to move to the right, she spotted a hungry lion approaching her. So what can the pregnant deer do? She's already in labor pain. What do you think that she will happen? Will the deer survive? Will she give birth to the fawn? Will the fawn survive? Will everything be burnt in the forest fire? So can the deer go left where the hunter is pointing? Can she move on to the left or the right? So this was a fix. Many of us have come across this kind of a fixed situation in our life as such. So how to respond to it? Is that what we learn from the deer? Is that anything can happen in our life? If you're religious, superstitious, atheist, agnostic, and whatever you can attribute this moment is a divine intervention of faith, sudden luck, chance, coincidence, or simply we do not know. The priority of the deer is that situation was simply to give birth to the baby because she felt that life was very precious. And the rest was not in her hands. Or any way that she is going to react can change her focus that would have resulted in any kind of a disaster. So focus on every moment of choice that we take and move ahead as such. We will be always move ahead with patience, with pragmatism, and with the resilience, such that we will be able to overcome any kind of obstacle. And every moment is a moment of choice, and every hour is our destiny. So when we do this, we have already mastered adversity quotient. So with that, how to sum it up holistic quotient with the idea, action, and plan. Everyone faces some or other problems, but every individual has a different choice of how to respond to the problem or situation. We should always teach our children whenever they face difficulties in life, instead of becoming weak and soft and stressed or becoming strong and hard, they should be very compatible to adapt themselves to the particular situation such that they are able to overcome the situation with their own thoughts, actions, and decisions with the focus, grit, and the determination such that they will be able to implement their idea as a plan becomes action such that they will be able to achieve this. So with this new paradigm, it can build an agile situation who will be able to face life as it comes, while we'll be delivering a purposeful education as in educating the minds without educating the heart. It is a futile education. So what is success quotient is that IQ, intelligent quotient, EQ, emotional quotient, SQ, social quotient, AQ, adversity quotient, together put together, how to implement, how to be very successful with the universal quotient becomes the formula for the success quotient. So our life has been very beautiful with a string of moments created, enjoyed, and experienced with others that have made the world turn. So every single step in our life is a big leap to fly high. So by mindly become aware and actively doing things that call to us, we begin to steer our ship towards the passionate projects that we are involved in, or the business, or anything that you are doing, the people and the places that stay true to our inner compass, such as every single moment is dear, to steer every opportunity near. The best way to destiny is to create it, to strive and to drive it. So the destiny itself is a wonderful tapestry. In every thread is guided by tender hand, placed by another thread that is held and carried on by 100 others. So we need to develop this art of inner engineering and innovative mindset to become more competent and sustainable, to bring the change that we wish to see in the world around us. With the art of inner engineering, that is the art of looking into oneself, the path to get good awakens the inner consciousness and develop the inner awareness of God's presence in life. The feeling of God's presence leads the soul to follow the path of righteousness and do the right in even the most difficult situations. When the soul enters into the station of gratitude and submission to God, a state of self-realization surfaces up and makes us the subject understand that life has been a gift from the God that is used for reflecting God's mercy, compassion, love, generosity, and blessing that will deliver good to the community. By surrendering oneself to God through the serene connection, one is able to teach the soul the process of self-restraint and self-control from the dominant evils as ego, craving for power, fame, crave for being important, pride, anger, revenge, lying, stealing, cheating, etc., etc., etc. So we need to give away all these parts and be focused, submissive subjects to God. So where there is righteousness in the heart, there is always beauty in the character. When there is beauty in the character, there will be harmony in home. When there is harmony in home, there is order in the nation. When there is order in the nation, there is always peace in the world. So thus making our world a better place to live in. So how do we achieve this? With the innovative mindset, with metacognition abilities that will help us to empower self, unleash competence to lead a culture of new. So with the act of metacognition, that is to handle the problems, what if anything is not working out, try some other way. It's in simple words, that is what is metacognition is. Refers to one's awareness or the ability to regulate one's own thought processes. That is thinking about thinking, to change the way of thinking, understanding of exactly what we know and how we think, including the ability to regulate our thinking as we work on the task. It is like an internal guide that will help us notice and question self in different situations. When the attention wanes, when the comprehension or the memory fail to succeed, or when the thinking becomes faulty, or when we have learned something what is not helping us. So this art or this skill of metacognition really helps us to adopt new ways. That is, in simple words, it's plan B, adopting plan B, such that some everyday examples that we can say that awareness that to have the difficulty in remembering people's name in social situation, reminding self that we should try to remember the name of a place that you just went, or realizing to know how to find the answer for a question or unable to recall it at any moment in life. All these things contribute to the metacognition thinking and abilities that will make one smarter and at least be better able to take advantages of one's own abilities. So this is how innovative mindset with metacognition abilities help us to develop this overall universal quotient to achieve the success quotient. So when we move ahead with all these things, how to go about with the metacognition is the awareness of one's own actions and their efforts, poising internal questions to find the information, the meaning, develop mental maps and pictures and plans, monitoring plans throughout the process and revising which do not work, self-evaluating completed plan, such that it shapes an active as a passive learners, gives the students with the control over learning, and makes the students aware of their own thinking abilities, such that in the process, they develop comprehension, connection, strategic planning, and also reflection. So this is how it has been. So first method to achieve innovative mindset is that give me five. That is, dwell in your own fixed mindset to understand your shortcomings. Reflect on oneself by accepting criticism with graceful receptiveness. Self-motivate yourself intrinsically and extrinsically to come out of the vicious circle. Focus, plan, and work towards converting all possible threats into opportunities. Establish change really matters by evincing success. Empowering self by spearheading innovative mindset with self. Expand your horizons with neuroplasticity, that neurons that fire together and wire together. So every time when we think and act, the neurons communicate by sending signals. So these signals are responsible for every step that you take. So every heartbeat and every single thought or the action or the emotion, whether it is positive or negative. So repetition and the recurrence of this pathway in the brain attributes to our thought processes to achieve the best and configure your inner engineering network by developing more positive signals, connections, and strengthening wires. So embrace the trinity of trait cluster by igniting the curiosity. Curiosity is a combination of the intelligence, persistence, and the hunger for novelty. All wrapped in one, curious people keep moving forward, opening new doors and opportunities to welcome new. Curious thinkers best positioned to thrive today and in the future become proactive hybrid in a highly competitive world. Their curiosity will lead them down to the new paths and embrace change with a variety of perspectives and collaborate with the specialization. Engage in constant learning to lead from unknown to known. So lifelong learning creates a positive attitude towards life, that is learning and later on to earning. Our capacity is to earn directly related to our willingness to learn. It is deliberate or a voluntary act, and lifelong learners are motivated to learn as they want to earn the quality of life and sustainability with change. So esteem your growth with eccentric and intrinsic motivation. Being passive is not our default mode as human being, but by the way, destiny is not a matter of chance or a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. It is not the thing to be waited for, rather it is a thing that is to be created or achieved. So it is our nature to strive and move forward in any of the direction will make our desire deemed valuable. High quality motivation drives one to thrive, and societal benefits of increased motivation escalates one's growth and success. So when you do that, create an environmental plan. As leaders and innovators, we need to create a community and culture that encourages innovation, which is built on integrity of building relations, connections, confidence by protecting care, love, trust, and thankfulness. As a principle, leaders and carers in education should not to control, but they are to serve. Whom we serve, instead unleash their curiosity to unearth the prophets, discover self, and extract optimism to achieve the maximum. Getting recognized will be the sense of ownership and commitment that is to be deserved. So this is how it works. That is plan, monitor, and self-execute and revise. So this is how metacognition really works. So when we do that, we move from your growth mindset to the fixed mindset. That is, all these processes really help us in moving forward. So we effectively implement the metacognition, creating an environment, learning environment and culture with following mindset. That is, innovative mindset, becoming empathetic and becoming a risk taker and becoming observant and moving forward without compromising on becoming resilient. So the 8 metacognitive skills that one has to achieve is that being reflective, empathetic, problem solving, risk taker, being observant, being very strong, determined, being creative, and being resilient. So let's relate to the realistic pictographic illustration. When we do that, what all things which comes to our mind? This is a picture of Vikram and Betal, which is quite known in India as such, which is, as we are all aware of this imaginative illustration that has happened during the nights of Raja Vikram, who used to stroll in the forest. And definitely it is a derivation from the Vikram and Betal. The situation and incidences that questioned by Betal were not only thought-provoking. Every day, King Vikram would take Betal on his shoulder and he used to move ahead. So while moving ahead, what was really happening is that Betal would ask n number of questions to Raja Vikram, saying that, like, why did you do that? How did this happen? And all these questions. Sometimes he would have answers, sometimes he would not have answers. So, but everything, what made him, all these questions and the interactive sessions that he had with Vikram and with Betal made him a very pragmatic leader. The situational instances and questions raised by Betal were not only thought-provoking, but critically, crucially challenged the challenges and analytical thought processes, which led to wise solutions, making Maharaja Vikram a practical leader, a pragmatic leader rather. Why not we think about the situation as Betal is none other than Maharaja Vikram himself, that is his inner soul and thoughts, asking questions and alerting him to find solutions, reviewing his own actions with the art of inner engineering involved. If yes, and agreed with this fact that Betal is none other than the inner soul of Maharaja Vikram, questioning his actions, is it not too heavy to carry the Betal all the time wherever Vikram Raja goes? Is it not too very difficult to put up with the craziness of Vikram Betal all the time? Is it not too awkward for Raja Vikram to get exposed to his weaknesses through Betal? If we are going, if we are just going behind Betal, then when do we carry out forward our solutions to actions? So what did our wise Raja Vikram did is that he gave only the strolling time to Betal. That is, his other side, his inner soul, will come out and interact on the various issues, will review his actions that needed attention. But it is true that the resolution sought with these self-interactions brought in solutions for him to reflect himself with the art of inner engineering. Though they brought in solutions, Raja Vikram never carried Betal all day long. That is that's the mistake that we are doing. We are carrying the Betal whole day with us, such that this is always questioning us, not enabled to move us forward. But for Raja Vikram, he carried Betal only in the night to reflect upon his actions. So what he used to do, he used to interact with Betal, he used to interact with himself, with his own self, and he kept Betal as only as a traveling partner whose accomplice and advice aided results. So why are we carrying this heavy bag on our shoulders wherever we are going, and spilling problems and cries and negativity and spreading pessimism around? Relating to these lessons to daily situations with a glass of water, we learn that if we are asked to have how heavy is this glass of water, what would be your answer? The absolute weight doesn't really matter. It depends on how long you hold it. If you hold it for a minute, it's not a problem. If you hold it for an hour, yes, you will have ache in your hand. If you hold it for a day, your arm will feel numb. If you feel paralyzed, or it will fall off, or it is, in each case, the weight of the water doesn't change, but the longer it held, the heavier it feels. So the stress and the anxiety, or like the glass of water, think about them for a short time and everything will be fine. Think about them for a longer time, they begin to feel uncomfortable. If you think about them all the time, you will feel paralyzed, incapable of doing anything or moving forward. So I can add to this analogy for you as well. What happens when we add more water? What will happen to the glass of water to fill the glass to the top? Or you can do things tend to get shaky. You will have the difficulty in focusing on the water that spills out. So your worry is about water that is not being spilled, but how to carry the water to the place. That's the thing. So you're putting your best effort to keep up to the situation. So you might consider to put a damn glass water for a while to sit down and reflect upon yourself. So this is where we are. So if we can do something to a problem, why not we do that? And if you can't handle the problem, then why are we sitting with the same problem? Leave the problem and move ahead, such that the problem, time is a healer, it will heal the problem. So be the creator of your own destiny, where we don't need to follow the success, where the success follows you.
Time is all we have. This moment, right now.
There's only one thing in our lives that we're never able to reacquire once it's gone. And I'm not talking about money, I'm not talking about material items, I'm talking about time. And it's such a unique concept, unique idea, because when utilized correctly, it contains the ingredients to success, to happiness, to growth, prosperity, all the things we want. But at the very same time, if neglected, it leaves us with very little. Because the truth is, every morning when you wake up, you are living minutes you will never get back. You are breathing air you will never take in again. It is your one opportunity to embrace this gift. And every second sees a little of it slip away. And my point is that there is no moment more important, more perfect than right now. Not in a week, not after your promotion, not in 30 years when you plan to retire and relax. Right now. See, we have this mentality that the future is going to somehow mean more than the present. That if we suffer now, or if we're unhappy now, that we'll save the best in life for some other time. But the reality is, we don't get younger. Yes, we should be working hard. Absolutely. Success comes from effort, hard work, dedication, persistence. But the key is, allocate your precious time to the work, to the things that make you feel like today is powerful. That right now is so amazing you don't want it to end. Today is when you take the first step towards the things you want. When you become who you want to become. No one is ever or will ever keep you from that other than yourself. There is no ceiling, there is no limitation, there is no special requirement. There is you and what you allow yourself to accomplish. You are the gatekeeper. You have your foot on the gas pedal. And it's so easy to point to others, right? To point to our environment, to blame things on everything. On our own decision, our decision to stick to the status quo. Because believe it or not, it is that simple. You are where you are because that's where you've decided to be. And you've accepted that as okay. Look, if you want change, then manufacture change. Create a plan and move. Go. Transform. Step out of your head and into the real world. Think about how lucky we are to be alive in this day and age with access to all the information we could ever dream of, technology that enables growth, freedom to pursue any path that looks appealing, anything we could ever want is right in front of us, yet we don't embrace it. Why? Why in the world would we let that be? Nothing is more important in life than living it. Nothing makes us feel more energized, more free, more happy than following the path we were meant to take. It's having the courage to step over the obstacles, to face the challenges, to be uncomfortable. And at the beginning, it's tough, right? Change is tough. Getting what you want isn't easy. There's a period of struggle, of growth, but once you get through it, you understand what living really is. Which brings us right back to the concept of time, our small existence on this planet, the greatest gift a human being can receive. You, by default, have it. Don't ever let it be in vain. The future isn't when happiness someday occurs. It's a continuation of you living every moment to the fullest, from now until your last. Make every trip around the sun better than the previous. Never let a moment of sunshine, clouds, or rain deprive you of your gift. Be the best version of yourself you can be. Live the life you were meant to live. All it takes is a simple decision.
So we don't just dream, but we create it. Thank you so much. Hope that was a quite long session. Hope you all enjoyed the session. So this is what the success quotient is all about. To have a very clear knowledge or the intellectual idea of exactly what the knowledge is all about, how to handle the situation with emotional quotient, when you handle the situation, definitely adversities are going to be there in place. How to handle the adversities with resilience and focus, grit and determination. So when you handle the adversities and quotient, adversities with in the way that it should be done with resilience, how to move ahead with the social quotient, how to accept people as they are, as we master life as it comes. Thank you so much. Thanks for IIU for this opportunity. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Srividhya. I think everybody would have benefited from such detailed and, I was listening through most of it and it was really well articulated. And I love the stories that you brought with each quotient. So I'm sure all our viewers on Facebook and otherwise would have definitely benefited from your explanations and the information that you shared. A pleasure having you on board, ma'am, and hope to see you again. Thank you so much for
I
being
was
such.
little fast, I'm sorry, because I
No,
was
it's
thinking within
perfectly
1
all
hour we
right.
need to finish. So I
Yeah.
was really
Uh,
rushing.
No, it was perfect. It was wonderful. I enjoyed listening into your explanations and the information that you shared. And I'm sure the rest of the viewers on Facebook would have done too. So here's bidding everyone goodbye. Till the next time, please take care, stay safe, stay healthy. Good night
Thank,
and all
thank
the
you.
very
Thank
best.
you, IIU, for
Mhm.
giving this wonderful opportunity.